What do you make of this coming from the left? Because the left is supposed to debate ideas, right? We're supposed to be about ideas, free thought, and yet it's those very people who are trying to silence you. I'm amazed by this.
I think what I've seen, and I could be wrong, is that what the left does is they put all the emphasis on justice, the concept of justice. And maybe what the right, rather classical liberals, because those are the people I identify with, and in the US they're called conservatives, sometimes libertarians. But what classical liberals do is they put the emphasis on freedom. And I was exposed to these concepts between, say, 1995, when I go to the University of Leiden, until 2000, and then 2001, something happens that makes me intent on testing these ideas. And what I have discovered, like many people before me, and I think you will as you grow, is that there is no justice without freedom. And so if you accept, and that is freedom from coercion, freedom from being forced into doing something you don't want to do, or using the tools of state to make individuals do something they don't want to do, or the government failing at, having one individual take the freedom of the other individuals. But if you have no freedom, then you will have no justice.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that.
So justice is secondary.
Right. So what do you make of the tactics that they use? Because there's been so much, we've talked about it so much, but so much lying and smearing about people's views, including your own. Even when I've just tweeted that I'm having you on the show, fortunately, because we've built something good here, I think, 80% of it was positive, but a lot of people, she's racist. I mean, they're telling me that you are racist. So what do you make of the tactics that they're using? Because I do think they think they're doing something lofty. They think they're helping the downtrodden or something like that. When in actuality, they're strengthening the very people that they should, by definition, be against.
And I think that is because if you put the emphasis on justice, you are by definition going to start talking about groups and collectives. Groups and collectives are abstract. You belong to a group for a short period of time. You're a member of whatever you are, collective you are a member of for a certain amount of time. But really, all the time, you are an individual. So the basic arguments I used to have with the left, and I started out in the Netherlands, was, okay, so you want to protect the culture and the religion of this collective, and this collective is saying, if we don't practice our religion the way we used to back at home, we are just not happy, we feel deprived, we feel persecuted, we don't feel at home, and that has all kinds of a psychological effect on the entire group. But what about the individual? What about the individual girl who's removed from school?
Right.
What about the individual girl who's forced into a marriage where she's consistently raped? She can't reach out to her parents because they put her in that situation. Her husband thinks he has a right. What about that individual right? What about the individual right to say, I don't want to do this, I want to do something else, and you're forcing this individual into doing that? And these constitutions in liberal countries is all about recognizing that individual freedom and aspiring to protect it as much as possible. And so what I tell my left-wing friends, and I have a lot of them because a lot of them have good intentions and they're progressive and they want to stand up for the poor, the downtrodden.
I feel the same way, yeah.
Is just take them back to that unit that they can empathize with. If you're gay and you're on the left, and on the one hand, you belong to a movement, you're fighting for the right in America to marry. But on the other hand, you're also fighting for the right of some minority collective to do whatever they want to the individual members. Shouldn't you be thinking about the plight of the individual members, those who can't voice their wishes, and those who, if they do, have to deal with consequences, so die? And I'm not talking about death and threats. I'm talking about your father looking you in the eye and telling you're no longer my daughter, I disown you. You can't show yourself up in the mosque. You are not invited to, so you're shunned.
Yeah.
And think of the psychological impact of that on the individual who chooses to have a lifestyle that is not in sync with a 7th century lifestyle.
Right, and that lifestyle, whether they're gay or just a woman, is what the progressives should always be fighting for, and that's the ultimate irony in this. That's
the ultimate irony. It is women that I mean, this is my background. I wanted to be free to determine my own destiny. I didn't want to marry the man I was forced to marry. I wanted to find my own mate in life. I wanted to work and I wanted to finish my education, and I was told that's going to bring shame on us. Now, with the emphasis on us, that is the group, the collective. So it's always you, the individual, the unit, and you're constantly being told, you're so selfish, you're bringing down the whole family, the whole clan, the whole group. And here's the irony, I think. It used to be the left that would take up the defense of the weak. Mm-hmm. And now, unfortunately, we live in a time when it is the left that has decided to define weak units as groups, not individuals.